Bree, and that's Rave, and we're getting ready to start the next 7 chapters.
Okay, so in chapters 1 through 7, we learned that Job was the most esteemed man in the eyes of God on earth. And what God is doing now is he's allowing Satan to test Job and his spirit. In the midst of these tests, Job has lost 7 sons, and he's lost all of his property. He's losing his health, and he really thinks he's going to die. Some friends have come to visit him. Eliphaz was the friend that we read about in the previous chapters, and he's trying to help Job keep the faith, and really Job wants to be left alone. So now we're talking to a second friend of Job.
Oh yeah, his name is Bildad. So we're going to start with Job chapter 8 verse 1. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, How long wilt thou speak these things? How long shall the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind? Doth God pervert judgment? Remember how, maybe you don't, but in the previous reading, we read how Job said, my words are like the wind. I'm so depressed that now I'm just talking, and they come, but they go. You know, I'm still not saying anything too bad. But Bildad is saying right now, your words are stronger than that. Like, they're not, you know, yeah, you may think that they're like a wind, but he's saying that it's a strong wind, or it's at least enough for him to be like, hey, you know,
Job, come back.
Yeah.
You know, where's Job at?
Yeah. Okay. Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? If thy children have sinned against him, and he have cast them away for their transgression, if thou wouldest seek unto God betimes, and make thy supplication to the Almighty, if thou wert pure and upright, surely now he would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. So basically, Bildad is saying something a little different from Eliphaz when he says that, you know, if you would seek unto God and make thy supplication to him, if you were pure and upright, then
God will help you.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of weird, because we know that Job is upright. God even said that himself. So I don't know where Bildad is getting his information, or how he's spinning that.
It seems like Bildad is saying, if you use your time now to speak good things instead of the, you know, this other stuff that he believes Job is speaking. If you will use that time now, you know, to make a supplication, maybe God will have mercy. That's what I'm kind of getting from it.
And it does say that maybe God killed your kids because your kids were bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know, that's something, because Eliphaz said, what righteous person has died?
Yeah, what righteous person? Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's a good point. Like, he did kill those 7 sons. And if you think about
Job even in his own heart thought that his sons were wicked, because he used to give, you know, try to please God for his sons.
Offerings to God for his sons. So that says a lot. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. Shall not they teach thee, and tell thee in utter words out of their heart? Can the rush grow up without mire? Can the flag grow without water?
So he's saying, if you seek the ancestors, for inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. So look for the wisest of the times before, and see what they did, and try to gain some knowledge from them. And he said that they'll teach you. Number 9, for we are but of yesterday. That's the one you read. That's about, we're of yesterday. We're here and we're gone. So we don't really know that much. So you should look back to see, you know, what the ancestors have to say.
Oh yeah, because we live so, or because we are so temporary anyway, that it must, you know, you need to go to somebody.
Yeah,
somebody
to find out something. Yeah, who's already
the older
done it.
people will know more than you.
Yeah.
And since your life goes away so fast, I got it. I see what you're saying now.
Can the rush grow up without mire? The flag grow without water? I'm pretty sure that's talking about some kind of tree, the flag, or the rush is, you know.
Yeah, it says papyrus right here.
Okay.
And it must be that it's talking about, you know, like you said, like, can you do anything without knowing of someone else's experiences, maybe?
Yeah. And then the mire could represent the dirt that you have to go through to grow.
Yeah.
You know, you need that in order to grow.
Whilst it is yet in his greenness and not cut down, it withereth before any other herb. So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. Whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be a spider's web. He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. He is green before the sun, and his branch shooteth forth in his garden. His roots are wrapped about the heap, and seeth the place of stones. If he destroys him from his place, then it shall deny him, saying, I have not seen thee.
So if you have no trust in God, then a hypocrite there is no hope in a hypocrite, because you don't live by what you say. And, you know, what does it say? Whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust? A spider's web. We all know how delicate a spider's web is. Not to the spider, but he shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. So the wicked, no matter how much you try to build and accumulate, the things that you built were not built on any solid foundation of any kind of morals, so it's not gonna last. He is green before the sun, and his branch shooteth forth in his garden.
Yeah, it says that like some lush plant in the sunlight, he sprouteth his early shoots over the garden. But his roots are wrapped. Oh, it sees
the place of stones.
Yeah, so it's not rooted in anything.
No, it's rooted in rocks. What?
Oh, okay. When he dies, he's not even missed. Someone uproots him from his place, which disowns it and said, I have never known you.
That sounds like what Jesus said at the last days, when he said, when y'all come and y'all be like, Jesus, Jesus. And he said, I never knew you. Like, you never did anything for me. But, okay, go ahead.
No, you're right. Behold, this is the joy of his way, and out of the earth shall others grow. Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man, neither will he help the evildoers, till he fill thy mouth with laughing and thy lips with rejoicing. They that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. Oh, okay. It's saying that if you are, all right. So if he destroys him from his place, then it shall deny him, saying, I have not seen thee. And now there shall others go.
That's the wicked, like when he's plucked up, then nobody's going to care.
Right, and other people will rise up in his stead. There'll be plenty more people after that.
Yeah.
But God won't throw away a perfect man.
No.
Oh, yeah, okay. It is saying he'll just throw away the wicked man, but he won't throw you away, Joe, because you're not wicked.
You're perfect.
Right. Today he fill thy mouth with till he fill thy mouth with laughing and thy lips with rejoicing. They that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught.
So they're saying God is not going to let you die until you're happy again. And he's not going to let you die in sadness, because God loves you. God favors you. All right.
Okay.
All right. Chapter 9. Then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth, but how should man be just with God? If he will contend with him, he cannot answer him 1 of 1,000. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who hath hardened against him, and who hath prospered? So they're saying, I know what you're saying is true, Bildad. But how can you contend with what God wants? And if you argue, you can't even argue with God. And who has contended with God and prospered? Who went against God and won? Which removeth the mountains, and they know not, which overturneth them in his anger. It's saying God moves mountains, and the mountains don't even know it. Which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble. Which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars. Which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea. And this is saying, God has all these marvelous powers, but on the verse 8, that stood out because it's saying, God walks on water, which is something else that reminded me of Jesus. Verse 9, which maketh Arcturus the bear, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. This is talking about astronomy. So you have to look up those words to really know what they mean.
He is saying that God made all the stars in the heaven. And look, it's a direct reference to the zodiac.
Reading the signs and the stars.
Exactly.
And so in Genesis it said that God made the stars for signs. Zodiac signs.
Of course.
All right, 10. Which doeth great things past finding out, yea, and wonders without number. Lo, he goeth by me, and I see him not. He passeth on also, but I perceive him not. God is walking all the way, is going through, and you can't see or know that God is there. Behold, he taketh away. Who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what doest thou? If God will not withdraw his anger, the proud helpers do stoop under him. How much less shall I answer him, and choose out my words to reason with him? Whom, though I were righteous, would I not answer? But I would make supplication to my judge. If I had called, and he had answered me, yet would I not believe that he had hearkened unto my voice. For he breaketh me with a tempest, and multiplieth my wounds without cause. He will not suffer me to take my breath. He filleth me with bitterness. If I speak of strength, lo, he is strong. And if of judgment, who shall set me a time? If I justify myself, though I be righteous, mine own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, though I be perfect, it shall also prove me perverse.
That is so deep.
It is.
Because he's
we were
basically
just saying
saying
that today about people that be like, I'm humble. I'm humble. You don't get to say.
Yeah, and you can't. He's saying even if he's right, how can he really go to God and argue with God? Because God is, well, first, he's so strong. All that he's saying, he's really strong. But if God is automatically
wrong,
right,
yes,
then how can he be? How can he? Even Job being right, he can't make a case for himself.
And he can't even say that he's perfect. Because that's, if you're being handled in a certain way by God, how can you really say that, no, I am perfect and God is wrong?
Because God, he said himself, God would turn his words against him.
Yes.
And so there must be something that's not right.
Unless Job is wrong. Like, maybe God won't turn his words against him. Maybe
Job is
his
wrong.
words are the thing that change his life. because it doesn't have to be that way.
Right, and God knows that Job is right. So what if?
Yeah, so it's like we know that God knows. Job doesn't know.
Yeah, and the way that they view God back then is that you can be as everybody thinks that God is just the rightest person, the most correct everything. But you know, even in this instance, could Job actually be like, "Hey, God, you know, this really hurts me, you know, can you give me some slack?" What he never did that. So what would
No, but he did ask to die. So I guess, you know, he did pray. He is praying for death.
But he can't, but they just said, you know, they're not gonna, if you're a righteous person, you don't get to die.
Yeah, you're right. That's what his friend said, but he's I guess Job believes that he's not righteous.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, I must have done something wrong back there.
Right.
Okay. Though I were perfect, I am perfect, yet would I not know my soul. I regard not myself, I would despise my life. This is one thing, therefore I said it. He destroyeth the perfect and the wicked. If the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. Seems like Job's view on God is changing a little. I don't know. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So he's saying that the earth belongs to the wicked. And he covereth the faces of the judges. And if this is not true, then where is God? Is that what you got from that?
It says, earth has been given into the hand of the wicked one. The face of his judges he covereth. I guess so. And if not, where? And who is he? If not, where? Yeah, it should be. Wouldn't the judge be God? But God can see.
Mm-hmm.
God knows. I mean, according to this, God knows that Job is good.
But Job doesn't believe God knows that he's good. That must be what this is.
Well, who wrote this? Well, I know we were talking about this. Who wrote this book?
I can't find who wrote it.
I know, but we were also saying that it might very well be Job.
It could. Well, then it could just be something. that black people put together back in Africa to teach a lesson.
I got you.
That's how we do stuff. It don't all have to be historical.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, it probably
I'm sure it's not historical, but I'm just saying
to teach a lesson. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
25.
Yes. Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away. They see no good. They are passed away as the swift ships, as the eagle. They hasted to the prey. If I say I will forget my complaint, I will leave off my heaviness and comfort myself. I am afraid of all my sorrows. I know that thou wilt not hold me innocent. If I be wicked, I shall be condemned. Why then labor I in vain? If I wash myself with snow water and make my hands never so clean. Is that what yours says?
Mm-hmm.
Yet shalt thou plunge me in the ditch, and mine own clothes shall abhor me. For he is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, and we should come together in judgment. Neither is there any day's man betwixt that might lay his hand upon us both.
Mm-hmm.
Let him take his rod away from me, and let not his fear terrify me. Then would I speak and not fear him, but it is not so with me. He's saying, if I say that, you know what, I'm going to forget all my sorrows and clean myself up, I'm afraid that more bad will happen. And if I say that I'm wicked, or if I am wicked, I'm gonna be punished anyway. So it sounds like Job feels trapped. Like there's no way out for him.
Yeah, in this, for this version, it says that his pains will still haunt him. Like even if he does try to be like what everybody says, or just smile in spite of, then it still happened to him. It's not like he's gonna forget
what happened.
Also, he's saying that it's not like there's somebody who can come in between me and God and talk to me and God and be like,
like a mediator.
Yeah, there's not one that'll let anybody hear both sides. Job is,
and he's saying
powerless.
God is not a man, and he can't make an agreement with God.
Yeah. Let him take his rod away from me. Let him take his rod away from me, and let not dread of him terrify me.
So it sounds like it's talking about the rod of correction.
Yeah, stop hitting me. Yeah.
Okay,
chapter 10. My soul is weary of my life. I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. He's saying he's just going to keep being sad and saying that he's sad. I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me. Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress, that thou shouldest despise the work of thine hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked? Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as man seeth? Are thy days as the days of man? Are thy years as man's days? That thou inquirest after mine iniquity, and searchest after my sin. Thou knowest that I am not wicked, and there is none that can deliver out of thine hand. Thine hands have made me, and fashioned me together round about, yet thou dost destroy me.
So this is sounding like God is saying, or Job is saying to God, you doing all this stuff to me, looking for my sins. Why can't you just tell me what it is I did wrong?
Exactly.
And if you punish me, the wicked are looking at me like, oh, that's the best God can do for you. You're embarrassing your own work, God.
Remember, I beseech thee, that thou hast made me as the clay. And wilt thou bring me into dust again? Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and curdled me like cheese? Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and hast fenced me with bones and sinews. Thou hast granted me life and favor, and thy visitation hath preserved my spirit. And these things hast thou hid in thine heart. I know that this is with thee. If I sin, then thou markest me, and thou wilt not acquit me from mine iniquity. If I be wicked, woe unto me, and if I be righteous, yet will I not lift up my head. I am full of confusion, therefore see thou mine affliction. For it increaseth. Thou huntest me as a fierce lion, and again thou showest thyself marvelous upon me. Thou renewest thy witness against me, and increaseth thine indignation upon me. Changes and war are against me. Wherefore then hast thou brought me forth out of the womb? Oh, that I had given up the ghost, and no eye had seen me. So basically Job is saying, he's back to saying, I wish I was never born, but also he's saying that I know that I haven't done anything wrong, and you should tell me. Because I'm confused. If I'm good, then
don't I get blessings?
Yeah, and if I'm bad, then woe unto me.
Just kill me.
Yeah.
And so this chapter 10 is Job speaking directly to God, or at least reasoning to God out loud.
I should have been as though I had not seen. I should have been carried from the womb to the grave. Are not my days few? Cease then, let me alone, that I may take comfort a little. Before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, where the light is a darkness. He really wants to die. But hopefully, You know what? It's not going to be God next. Anyway, I'm hoping God was going to say something finally to Job.
Send him a text message.
Okay. Not in chapter 11.
Chapter 11, verse 1. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite and said, should not the multitude of words be answered? And should a man full of talk be justified? Should thy lies make men hold their peace? And when thou mockest, shall no man make thee ashamed? So it sounds like Zophar finna read him. I don't know. For thou hast said, my doctrine pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. But oh, that God would speak and open his lips against thee, and what he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is, for he is manifold in understanding. Now therefore that God exacted of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth.
Well, can you even, why are you even talking about you like you can understand the mysteries of God? Like, God could tell you, but you know, who are you? You're but a human to say, oh, well, God, can you tell me? Yeah, can you tell me why? Anyway. You wouldn't be able to understand anyway.
Just like you can't understand now.
You know? Right, yeah, no, that's true.
You don't get it already. God's sending you signs. God has never spoken to you before, so why would God start talking to you now?
And that's a really good point, because when people die, usually people go, why? But I think that it must be to God that all things, everything is nothing. Everything doesn't have the meaning that we assign to it.
Yeah.
All things just, you know, they come and go. So when he tells Satan, you know, touch everything but not Job, and then touch Job, it's like, you know, to God, none of that must mean anything. Not the money, not the sheep, not the human beings even.
And then that could also speak to the power of God. You know, like maybe God can erase all that anguish. And like, as long as he's alive, I can do something else with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, and maybe that was necessary. Like, you know, because Job is my greatest servant, I really want to show him how to detach himself from the world.
Yeah.
And so he can gain the greatest, from everything. So he can be the happiest he can be. I don't know, but
there could be.
It could be. I mean, according to this, we will never know the mysteries of God, but shoot.
We finding out some. Okay. Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? It is as high as heaven. What canst thou do? Deeper than hell? What canst thou know? The measure thereof is longer than the earth and broader than the sea. If he cut off and shut up or gather together and call unto judgment, then who can hinder him? For he knoweth vain men, he seeth wickedness also. Will he not then consider? For vain men would be wise, though man be burned like a wild ass's colt.
Okay, it says, and so a hollow-minded man will get wisdom when a young ass of the field gets teaching. And so the idiot grows wise, and thus a young wild donkey grows tame. Wait, but an empty man will get understanding when a wild ass's colt is born a man. It says, can a fool grow wise? Just like, you know, does a fish have titties? That kind of thing. Mere man is as likely to be wise as a wild donkey's colt is likely to be born a man.
Because that mine is kind of saying like the born like a wild ass colt.
It's got 3 different explanations in here, so you know, you take whichever one with a grain of salt. But it could be that, you know, can a vain man eventually grow wise? And I think they can. Like, you know, if you didn't think they could, then you know,
their life really is nothing.
You're right, and there wouldn't be people trying to go and I don't know, change folks and teach them. And
well, maybe they do say only the wise receive instruction. Like, if you try to teach a fool be like, don't cast your pearls before swine. So, I don't know.
Yeah, good point. I don't know.
I don't know, Grace. Okay, 13. If thou prepare thine heart and stretch out thine hands toward him, if iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without spot. Yea, thou shalt be steadfast and shalt not fear, because thou shalt forget thy misery, and remember it as waters that pass away. And thine age shall be clearer than the noonday. Thou shalt shine forth, though there be darkness, it shall be as the morning. And thou shalt be secure, because there is hope. Yea, thou shalt dig about thee, and thou shalt take thy rest in safety. Also, thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Yea, many shall make suit unto thee. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. And I know that giving up of the ghost means to give up the spirit, so to die.
That's really good. The all three of his friends, I think they had something really helpful to say. Even if you are...
You're really positive.
Yeah.
And they all say that, Job, you're going to get through this. All of his friends bear witness to his goodness.
Yeah.
And his righteousness. So,
and what if that's not God too? You know,
I do
coming
that
through
it
his
is
friends,
God.
being like, look.
Because that's kind of what the first part of 11 then answered. Zophar, should not the multitude of words be answered, and should a man full of talk be justified? So he's saying, you talking a lot, so I'm
let me
answer.
justify it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like, okay, since you asking questions, I'm gonna speak. I got some understanding. And
you
what
were
is God
saying,
besides with?
Yeah, you were saying that God is like, God may not just come down and be like, hey, look, this is exactly why I did this. He'll give you a sign.
Yeah,
so
and speak through somebody.
Chapter 12. And Job answered and said, no doubt, but yea are the people, and wisdom shall die with you. Strange that you alone should have the gift of reason, that when you die, wisdom must die too. But I have understanding as well as you, and I am not inferior to you. Yea, who knoweth not such great things as these? I am as one mocked of his neighbor, who calleth upon God, and he answereth him. The just upright man is laughed to scorn. He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp despised in the thought of him that is at ease.
If a person is at ease and they see a despicable person, you kind of hate that. You kind of hate that person.
He does say that, yeah.
So you don't want to see them like that. You know, you don't want that depression around you.
Right.
So you kind of despise them in a way.
Okay. The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, into whose hand God bringeth abundantly. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall teach thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. So basically he's saying, if you want to know more, ask the animals. Yeah, because they're supposed to be telling us something. They can teach us something.
They're here for that too.
Yeah.
To send us messages.
Knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord hath wrought this, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind. Doth not the ear try words, and the mouth taste his meat? With the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. And also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. He leadeth counselors away, spoiled, and maketh the judges fools. He looseth the bonds of kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth princes away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty.
Yes.
Okay. So basically he's saying he takes everybody high up, and he can make them low down. He can do anything. Is what he's saying the powers of God are. He leadeth princes away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty. He removeth away the speech of the trusty, and taketh away the understanding of the aged. Wow, like dementia.
Dementia. That is right. Okay.
He poureth contempt upon princes, and weakeneth the strength of the mighty. He discovereth deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. He increaseth the nations, and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations, and straighteneth them again. He taketh away the heart of the chief of the people of the earth, and causeth them to wander in a wilderness where there is no way. They grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man.
All right. Chapter 13. Lo, mine eyes have seen all this. Mine ear hath heard and understood it. What ye know, the same do I know also. I am not inferior unto you. Surely I will speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with God. But ye are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value.
Ooh.
All right.
Y'all are quacks.
Okay. Oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace, and it should be your wisdom. Hear now my reasoning, and hearken to the pleadings of my lips. Will ye speak wickedly for God?
Oh.
And talk deceitfully for him? Will ye accept his person? Will ye contend for God? It is good that he should search you out. Or as one man mocketh another, deceiveth a man.
It says, would he search you out? Would he come do to you what he's doing to me? Now, be careful, because right now you sound all high and mighty, but he'll strike you. He'll strike you down too. You saying the right things.
Yeah.
Or and you wouldn't quibble with him the way you are going back and forth with me anyway.
Yeah.
So that's my point exactly.
Yeah, and he did ask God. He didn't ask
them. No fools.
Okay. He will surely reprove you if you do secretly accept persons. Shall not his excellency make you afraid, and his dread fall upon you? Your remembrances, memorable sayings, are like unto ashes, your bodies to bodies of clay. Hold your peace, let me alone, that I may speak, and let come on me what will. Wherefore do I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my life in my hand? All right, Joe. So he's talking about eating himself. Maybe figuratively. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. But I will maintain my own ways before him. He also shall be my salvation, for an hypocrite shall not come before him. Hear diligently my speech and my declaration with your ears. Behold now, I have ordered my cause. I know that I shall be justified. Who is he that will plead with me? For now, if I hold my tongue, I shall give up the ghost. Only do not two things unto me. Then will I not hide myself from thee. Withdraw thine hand far from me, and let not thy dread make me afraid. Then call thou, and I will answer, or let me speak, and answer thou me. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgression and my sin. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and holdest me for thine enemy?
He's saying, let me know, okay, if God is going to go ahead and kill me, I just want to know these two things. What did I do to you? Right? Only two things that I want to know from me. Withdraw thine hand far from me, and let not thy dread make me afraid, which is to take my fear away.
Okay.
So let me be able to face you, and then also tell me what are mine iniquities. Make me to know my transgressions and my sin. Wherefore hidst thou face? Why'd you hide your face from me? Why'd you turn your back on me? Why you treat me like your enemy?
Yeah.
He wants an explanation.
And he said, and holdest me for your enemy. Like, you gonna give me to Satan. Okay. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and holdest me for thine enemy? Wilt thou break a leaf driven to and fro? And wilt thou pursue the dry stubble? For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to possess the iniquities of my youth. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks, and lookest narrowly unto all my paths. Thou settest a print upon the heels of my feet, and he, as a rotten thing, consumeth as a garment that is moth-eaten. Job going through, to say the least.
Yeah. Chapter 14. Man that is born of a woman is of few days, and full of trouble. He cometh forth like a flower, and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow, and continueth not. And dost thou open thine eyes upon such an one, and bringest me unto judgment with thee? Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Turn from him that he may rest, till he shall accomplish as an hireling his day. For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. Though the roof thereof wax old in the earth, though the root thereof wax old in the earth, and the stock thereof die in the ground, yet through the scent of water it will bud, and bring forth boughs like a plant. But man dieth, and wasteth away. Yea, man giveth up the ghost, and where is he? As the waters fell from the sea, and the flood decayeth and drieth up, so man lieth down and riseth not. Till the heavens be no more, they shall not awake, nor be raised out of their sleep. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave, that thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath be past, that thou wouldest appoint me a set time and remember me. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. Thou shalt call, and I will answer thee. Thou wilt have a desire to the work of thine hands. For now thou numberest my steps. Dost thou not watch over my sin? My transgression is sealed up in a bag, and thou sewest up mine iniquity. And surely the mountain falling cometh to naught. When he's saying when a man dies, when people die, they just die. And they don't get to come back. Unless they do.
Unless God, yeah.
Yeah, right. He said, if a man dies, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come.
So it could be a figurative death or a literal death.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're supposed to, the people that are dead are supposed to rise.
Can a man die again? Because I've already died right now.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to wait to see because I'm gonna die. Yeah, right. He's so sad, poor thing.
And he's smart too.
He is really smart. And surely the mountain falling cometh to naught, and the rock is removed out of his place. The waters wear the stones. Thou washest away the things which grow out of the dust of the earth. Thou prevailest forever against him, and he passeth. Thou changest his countenance, and sendeth him away. His sons come to honor, and he knoweth it not, and they are brought low, but he perceiveth it not of them.
That a dead man doesn't know anything anymore. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he is saying that.
Whether or not your sons do well or whether they die.
But his flesh upon him shall have pain, and his soul within him shall mourn.
And that goes back to the first verse. A man born of a woman shall surely is full of trouble. His days are full of trouble. All right, well, that's a pretty low note for this time, but Job's gonna make it. I believe in him.
Yep.
Even though I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm just hoping.
Yeah, I'm hoping something turns around for Job too. It has to, because if Job was had anything like the spirit he should have, considering he believes in God, he will know that he has to at least realize at some point that this ain't
get better.
Yeah, it's not the end. Right. Okay. Until next time. Bye.